I'm Lauren Faith. I'm a songwriter, producer and artist from London. I first got into music when I was 4 years old and I started playing the piano, and then I got obsessed with instruments, so then it led to guitar, then violin. So from like a young age, I knew I wanted to do music. I was about 16 when I went to a music technology school and I first learned how to use like music software. And from there, I was just like, okay, I can get all my composition and all my musical ideas down. This is how I do it. So I just started like releasing demos on SoundCloud, and Craig David's manager sent me a message on SoundCloud and asked if I was like up for writing for Craig. And I was like, oh my God, of course, like Craig David. That was like my first big cut and my first like entrance point as a songwriter. And I just like completely just put all my concentration into like production. And just since then, that's what I've been doing. I've been doing loads of K-pop, been doing loads of R&B. I recently just had like a song that I'd written and produced that went almost twice platinum in Korea. It's been a cool journey. I'm loving it, yeah. The first time I heard V Collection, it was super exciting. Just hearing the width, the 3D-ness, and like just how rich the sounds are and how much they emulate the originals is amazing. I genuinely feel like if I just had just V Collection and then my drums that I use like on all my samples, I don't feel like I actually need to use any other synth plugins at all. V Collection does it for me. It does, because it has it has the best synth sounds of all the best synths we have in the world. So like, what more do you need? So like instantly, like I just open it and there's a sound that's like, I just love already. Especially with the CS80 as well. That's my favorite anyway. I just find something quick. I'm definitely a preset girl because I like to work really quick. So like if I find the chords and then I'll want to find the right sound, but then I definitely tweak along the way. And I always like to manipulate the sounds with effects. So like I'll always look at trying to make it sound weirder so it doesn't sound like the preset. I'm very simple. I don't like overcomplicate things for myself. Yeah, I like the DX7. I played the DX7 quite a few times in LA. Yeah, so that's what I tend to do is I'll just go straight into the advanced and then the FX bit, and then I'll like just get some like analog chorus, like a phaser or something on it. But I always like my sounds, especially like chords or like little interesting things I make, to sound like quite 3D. So I kind of like it being wide and like weird-ish, you know? And like, I just literally just loaded that up and I've got the sound I want within like, I don't know, a minute, right? So it's great. Let's have a look at the lo-fi. Great. It's like a whole vibe. Takes you in, right? You like zone in. I like that. These sounds are really cool. It has like the vinyl underneath it. It's very aesthetic. I like that. That's very much like the type of sounds I go for, like to find that crispy, quirky, like the cool sound. Yeah, that's my thing. I like it. I really like the pure lo-fi plugin. I definitely always will find like a bass line or some chords, but different things inspire it, if it's a sound or if it's a mood. But my approach is always to find something that sticks straight away. So sometimes I'll just be sitting at the piano for ages and then suddenly you subconsciously just will play something and then you're like, oh, okay, that's it there. So sometimes I find like just to let it naturally come to you, but just be doing it. You have to do it for it to come to you, you know? So this is a record I'm working on for a really cool artist, and you guys can see how I do it, you know? I basically first started the song with this like sample I found. Yeah. And I always like to add like vinyl in my track. So I'll always like start, before I've even like made the song, I'll always put vinyl in it just for the aesthetic. Because I just really like textures. We've got the drums here. We've got some claps, we've got the bass, we've got the kick. And then I added my favorite synth, which is a CS80, just underneath in this section. Just to add some sonics, and it just like goes nicely together. And then with everything, it's like, and then when we get to the chorus part, I've like stacked it out more because that's kind of quite empty there. I've used pure lo-fi on like 3 of the sounds that go along with my Super 6. It's cute. And I used like refract on 2 of the things, and I like using that because it just gives me this more 3D sound, and I feel like it allows all the sounds to have a space to sit, whilst also creating a really cool, like quirky aesthetic. I just like doing that. That's what I like doing. And I also used motion here too, on the second one, just to give it that wow kind of sound. It's cool. Different. We like that. Just details. I think it's all about like little details. Yeah, is that cool? When I've found certain key elements, there's definitely that feeling that you get that feels like a spark, where you feel like you've landed on magic. So I feel like it's like you're always chasing that feeling of magic. And so like, that's why it's like nice to work quick, and then because you can get to that, you know? And I feel like sometimes when you're creating with speed, I think that's when you land on those things, because it's like a vessel. It's like a higher force or high power coming, like giving you these creative ideas. And I've heard people talk about that before, and it does feel like that. Yeah. This is a track I'm working on right now. And I wanted to show you guys how I build from scratch. So I only have like, maybe like 5 things right now in there, and I'm gonna keep building it. I'm gonna start it off with the Prophet 5. So it's got a nice fat sound, and I'm gonna start with the bass. And then I added the CP70. I just played like these few chords. I think it was this. And as you can hear, the sound is really cool. I used the CP70 and I used Refract, used the preset Golden Bandpath. Gave me the sound I wanted straight away. Chef's kiss. And yeah, and then you can hear it. Just sounds wide, sounds cool. Nice. And then I'm just gonna add more stuff, and we're gonna have some fun with it. Okay. So I'm using the Prophet 5 with this. And on this, I add emotions as well, and using the preset Bad Boy, which, yeah. Again, it just gives it this really cool sound, you know? And you can change how wet you want it. It's got a lot of noise in it, which I like. Cuts through again. That's the thing for me, is like, you can have loads of sounds in something, but I think it's good for them all to each have their own sonic, and then it pushes the noise and the crisp and the aesthetic in different ways. You know? Everything still feels like it's got its place. I might just change this one a little bit, actually. Maybe the MS-20 could be interesting for this. I like that sound. So I'm using refract again with the MS-20, and now it's made it into like chords, which is super cool. I've never done this part yet before. Sounds nice. I'm just gonna put a trance gate on this just to make it move. Feels dreamy and like you're in this like different world. That's one of my favorite things about making music, is like I'm in this different zone, and like you just like, you don't even realize like hours have gone and you're just in this musical zone. It's a place for me where I fully communicate how I feel, if that's with sounds or if it's with lyrics. So it just feels like home. It's kind of basic, but I like it. The sounds don't sound basic. It's maybe just my ideas. But it just goes to show like you can achieve that sound that you want to get. The richness of it is like all there, you know?